Hello everyone, so today we're going to be reading the SATs reading booklet today. So I'm going to help you out with your test today, so let's begin. So in this video, I'm only going to be reading one topic. You'll have 3 in your test though, but we're only going to be reading one in this video. And the topic that we're going to read is about the park. Let's begin. Ajay has just arrived at Joe's house before school. Joe's mother is the warden who looks after the local park. The park. Now let's start. Ajay was just about to tuck into his tea and toast, dripping in sour hubbub jam, when there was a loud clatter from the letterbox as an important-looking brown envelope landed on the mat. Bit early for the post, isn't it? Mom said, "Ooh." It says special delivery. Mom opened it and unfolded the letter. Joe knew instantly that something was wrong. He could see it on Mom's face. "What is it, Mom?" Joe asked. "Yeah, Mrs. P, what's happened?" AJ asked too. "It's the park. They have shut it down." For a second, no one said a word. Joe and Ajay looked at each other, then back at Joe's mom. Her face was pale. Her jaw dropped open. She stared at the letter, her eyes watery and ready to spill over with tears. "Shut the park," Joe said furiously. "They can't do that. It's the park." "Yeah, everyone loves that place," Ajay joined in. "You boys best get to school or you'll be late," said Mom, her voice all shaky. "But what about—" Joe started to say. "You leave that to me. I don't want you worrying." Mom tried to smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. If she was trying to reassure Joe, it wasn't working. He knew his mom needed that job. How else was she supposed to put sweet and sour spaghetti on the table? "Don't worry, Mom. I'll think of something." Joe's mom just nodded, turning away to wipe her eyes. Joe and Ajay grabbed their bags and reluctantly headed out of the door. Neither of them said anything for what seemed like ages. "You all right, man?" Ajay asked, breaking the silence. "I don't know. I can't believe they have closed the park." "I mean, why?" Joe said in disbelief. "Don't know." Ajay shrugged. "But I know a man who might," he said, pointing down the road as they turned the corner at the top of Joe's street. They saw a man in the distance. He had a ladder and toolbox and was busy hammering a sign into the park gate. This made Joe's blood boil. If Mom had been there, she would have given him what for. No one hammers anything into anything without her say so first. "Oi!" AJ yelled. "What are you doing?" Joe read the sign. Under development. "What's going on?" Joe asked. "Why have you closed the park?" The man stopped what he was doing and shrugged. They don't tell me anything. I'm just the bloke who hammers things." Joe read the rest of the sign. Okay, so here's the sign. I'm going to continue. Underneath the notice was a drawing of a posh building, tall and made of glass. It had pictures of smiling people chatting and drinking coffee. Outside, Joe and Jay looked through the park gates and could already see diggers moving in, ready to tear the playground apart. "This can't be happening," Joe muttered, blinking back the tears. This was the place where he and Jay hung out, where they used to plot how they were going to become mega rich and plan what to do if the world got taken over by zombies. This was the place where Joe and Jay used to play football, or rather where Jay would kick the ball and Joe would try to get out of the way before it hit him in the face. And now it was going to be turned into flats. Why wasn't anyone stopping this? Okay, now we will do the question answers. By the way, I have already wrote the answers. That is because I wanted to save time and this will be much more quicker. Otherwise, the video will be too long. So let's start now. What is Ajay doing when the post arrives? Well, he was having breakfast because as you can see right here, you can see that Ajay was just about to tuck into his tea and toast. So tea and toast basically he was eating, and that's a breakfast meal. So we'll write having his breakfast. Now, how does Joe know that the letter contains bad news before his mom tells him what it says? He could tell by her face. So as you can see it right here, let me find it for a second. What happened? Joe instantly, right here. So Joe instantly knew something was wrong. He could tell by his mom's face right there. As you can see, it says right here. So next, what does the letter in the brown envelope tell Joe's mom? That the park was closing down. It was pretty obvious because you can see shut down the park and all these other things, and yeah, it's pretty obvious. Next. Okay, find and copy one word which shows that Joe is angry. Okay, so he was furious because as you can see here, right here, Joe said furiously. You can tell by the word he's angry. Next, in AJ's opinion, how do people feel about the park? They love it because as you can see, they said right here, they can't do that. Yeah, right here. Yeah, everyone loves that place. So here you can tell now. Now look at the paragraph beginning. You boys best get to school to the end of page 4. But what about Joe started to say? Okay, so now we have to tell what he thought. What will complete Joe's question. Okay. So here are the options right here. Your breakfast, our games, your job, our homework. So the answer is our job. I'm going to tell you why and why the other answers aren't correct. Your breakfast, because I don't think so they'll ask what about their breakfast. I'm pretty sure they were done eating the breakfast, and that's not really the thing that they'll say. And our games, definitely no. I'm pretty sure they will not talk about that. Your job, yes, because that's he was worried about her job. Our homework, I'm pretty sure they've already done it and they didn't mention anywhere. Next. Okay. What is Joe's mother thinking after she reads the letter? Take one thought. Okay. I'm happy that the boys have finished their breakfast. I'm sure no, that's not the right answer. I don't want boys to realize how upset I am. Yes, this is the correct answer because right here, you leave to me. She said, so here you can see Mom tried to smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. So you can tell. And she also turned around to wipe her tears. So see right here, she nodded, and then turned around to wipe her tears. So that's how you can tell. If she was trying to reassure Joe, it wasn't working. What does reassuring mean in this sentence? Well, that means that she was trying to tell him it would be okay. Okay, next. Here. Okay, look at the paragraph at the top of page 5. Find the copy one word that shows the boys do not want to leave. Okay, so let's see right here. So reluctantly, right here, this word can actually tell us that they do not want to go outside, reluctantly headed out. So yeah, next right here. Next. Oi, AJ yelled, what are you doing? Joe, read the sign under development. What's going on? Joe asked. Why have you closed the park? Joe and AJ react differently to seeing the man hammering in the sign. Okay, so how was Joe's reaction? He was calmer because, as you can see, he was like, what's going on? Why are you closing the park? Unlike his friend, he was like, oi, what are you doing? Like that. So you can tell. Now, here, look at the sign from the story. Who has produced the sign? Okay, so by the way, you have to read this right here too, so I'm going to read it to you. Under development, this notice hereby declares that St. Joe's Park is closed with immediate effect, and that from 1st of July, this park will be redeveloped and a new block of luxury flats will be built. The Department of Progress. Okay, so as you can see, the Department of Progress, you can see that. So yeah, next. Okay, so these are our last questions now. So let's read this. Look at the paragraph beginning. Underneath the notice was to the end of page 5. Okay, here as you can see. What is happening inside the park? Okay, so what's happening inside of the park? What did they see? Okay, so basically they saw some diggers ready to tear down the park. We read that. Here, where was it? Hammering, mountain under development, struggle. It was here. We did read this, so I remember that we read this. So yeah, and I also read this before too, so I answered the questions. Okay, using information from the text, tick one box in each row to show whether each statement is true or false. Okay. The park has been looked after by a park warden. Yes, true, because his mom was there. Okay, now the park is going to be replaced with a shopping center. Now it's going to be replaced by a luxury building. Yeah. So building work in the park will start at the end of July. No, they said that it'll start at the 1st of July right there. So that is false. The warden had 2 weeks notice, not on the closure. No, they just said it as like last day, so they just said it. Okay, so pretty much that is the end. I hope this helped you guys with your test, and I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.